Hello, this is Brother Johnny Williams with another edition of In the Word. Today's message will be named Comfort Zones 2. I just did a sermon on comfort zones about a month ago, and I thought I'd revisit it again. It's some things have been on my mind, some disturbing things, and I need to address them with some of my fellow pastors and ministers. But first, I want to read, or set the foundation, so to speak. I want to read a few scriptures out of Matthew. We're going to actually read in chapter 10, Matthew, verse 16 through 20. So let's get that read, get it out of the way, and then we'll get to this general discussion here. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents, and harmless as doves. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or where ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. Now, we need to pay close attention to what some of these words in these scriptures are saying and meaning. So let me make a point again here before I actually get started. I want to read a little bit more here. We're going to start over again here. I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. He's sending us. He's letting us know he's sending us out there as sheep in the midst of wolves. You know, as a pastor, as a minister, you know what you are facing already. Okay? Let me read a little further. Be ye therefore wise as serpents, and harmless as doves. Wise? Be ye as wise as the serpent. Why is he telling us to be as wise as a serpent? Because he knows what we are going to be up against already. So let's read a little further. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils. They will scourge you in the synagogues, and ye shall be brought for governors and king for my sake. Beware of men. They're gonna scourge you. They're gonna bring you before kings and governors for his sake. What does that mean? Need I remind you, there are people out there, there are wolves out there that do not want to see change take effect. That is what we are here for. When we spread God's word, we are effecting change from the status quo. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy. Okay? Let's read a little further. For a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. Now, in a nutshell, what that's telling you, if you got these, I'll use them, these Pharisees, these so-called religious people that were back then that were supposed to be teaching God's law, but they twisted it to fit their needs. These Sadducees, the Herodians, these type people, these rich, supposed to be influential type people that are teaching, or supposed to be teaching God's law, but again, twisting it to fit their needs and their wants. Sad to say, there are a bunch of them just like that today. Now, I tell you something. Again, I was told when I began my journey, Johnny, your greatest challenge is going to be not from without, but from within the church. That's what I want to get to today. You know, it kind of infuriates me. We get these people, these very holy people, so to speak, been going to church all their lives. They sit in the church every Sunday, every Wednesday, every time the church door opens, they're sitting in there. And their mindset is that they got their way made. They're saying, forget about everybody else. You know, this is the way it's going to be. We're not going to change anything. All right? Let me ask you people something. I'm not going to mince words here, the ones that I'm talking directly to. How can you sit there and say that you're saved? How dare you tell the pastor what he can and what he cannot preach about? How can the pastor effect change if he cannot reach people, cannot relate to people, people cannot feel what he is saying? Because you are sitting back, hindering the pastor and to the pastor. Why are you allowing these people to dictate what you preach about? If you're preaching the truth, if it is the truth, if it is God's word, you're supposed to be delivering God's message, therefore affecting change. But we get worried about the collection plate. I don't think in your calling that you said anything about you being worried about a collection plate. God says he will provide for you, for us. And what do? We get complacent. We get comfortable in our positions on this pedestal that these congregations have put us up on. And the only people are suffering are God's sheep because they are not being pulled away from those wolves. Because somebody's sitting back, some older person sitting back telling you what to preach about. Let me give you a bit of warning, some of you older people that forget from whence you came. Like you weren't young. You didn't be promiscuous or rebellious. Oh, you did it too. It wasn't as widespread as it is now. But if it were, you'd be just as guilty as the ones that are doing it now. You know, unless you came from outer space or somewhere. But I think all of us were born right here. We're all flesh and blood human beings. We all make mistakes. We live in a world of sin and temptation. And if you can measure sin from back there to now, it's the same. But temptation has gotten a whole lot greater. We are exposed because time changes things. We are exposed to more things now, more so now than it was back then. Just take, for example, you know, we talk about women's liberation. And you women are the first to holler. Men don't want us to do anything. It's not fair. We don't get treated fair. And then look what you do. I tell you, you give somebody an inch, they'll take a mile. Now, don't get me wrong. No one is to be mistreated or abused because of their gender. Again, I wouldn't be where I am today if not for my wife. There are many women in my life that I have met and learned from, and I love them for it. But let me warn you of something. Now, in the context of temptation these days. Some of the things or some of the articles of clothing that you women wear these days. How in the world can you step out of the house with something on that's revealing and then get insulted when somebody look at you and say something? You know how you look when you walked out of the house. You knew something was sticking out. You knew something was revealing. Evidently, you want somebody to look at you. So why are you complaining? But you want to scream like a pig under a fence when you think a man has offended you. Well, wake up. You did it. So don't complain now. You fought for the right to wear what you want to wear, to say what you want to say, to do what you want to do. So now live with it. Okay? But now I don't want to get too far off track. Let's get back to the church here. Our spiritual home, where we're supposed to go and learn in conjunction with our parents, neighbors, friends, teaching us, fellowshipping, learning about the Almighty. But the church is the place that we're supposed to go and worship. Also, it's a place we're supposed to go and learn. There are all kinds of examples all throughout the Bible that talks about death, that talks about wicked women, talks about wicked men, but you can't talk about it in church. And it happens each and every day out there. There are people that come sit right in the church. They come sit right beside you. They don't know the first thing about walking with God. Probably couldn't even quote one of the 10 Commandments to you. And why? They never learn. Why? They never learn. And you got people sitting there, well, we can't teach about that. You know, me, again, I am not a team player when it comes to that. I truly believe everything that I went through in my life, everything that God put me through, protected me from, kept me here so that I could talk to you. That's what I'm going to do because I'm going to save people. It tells me I'm going to be persecuted. I'm going to be scorned. I'm going to be shunned because I tell the truth. Bring it on. Because I'm not going to stop. See, me, truly, I really love the Lord for what he has done for me, for what he brought me from what he has shown me, and I'm going straight forward. Now, if you want to allow other men and other women to block your blessings, then you go right ahead. You let them tell you what you can preach about and what you can't preach about because they're scared people are not going to come in the door. Let me open your eyes to something. The reason that people aren't coming in the door is because you're not preaching about anything that interests them. You have got to get them there and get their attention. But you still talking about hell and brimstone and Jehoshaphat and all this kind. You skip chapters of the Bible. There are people that don't even understand Genesis or Exodus in the beginning because you don't teach it. You're talking to people like they're on your level. There are a lot of people out there that are not on your level. They're not there. Again, sure, a person like me, I come into church and you jump all the way to Mark or Matthew, Luke, John. Of course, I can keep up, but you got children that aren't learning. You got grown people that aren't learning. They don't know. We're not having effective Sunday school meetings. We're not having effective Sunday school meetings that coincide with the general service. Why? And you wonder why people aren't coming. You can poll, and I can talk to 10 people. And each one of them go to church. Each one of them will go in there and they say after the preacher stands up there and yells and shouts for 90 minutes, they haven't learned anything. That's sad. That is sad. My method, my vision, which God gave me and showed me what's the problem, how to effectively deal with the problem, That is what I'm going to do. I'm going forward. And I'm not going to worry about you. You know, there are all kinds of jealous people out there, haters. But keep hating. Keep slamming doors on me. But every time you open one, I'm going to be standing right there. You open another one, I'm going to be standing right there. You open another one, I'm going to be standing right there. That I promise you. I'm not going to back down. For I've been strange all my life. And I finally found out why. Thank God he revealed it to me. Let me tell you something. Before Jesus Christ came along, there was one sent. John the Baptist. Strange fellow. Lived out in the wilderness. Ate locusts of wild honey. And he was not afraid to let them Pharisees and them Sadducees have it. Oh, you generation of vipers. Now, don't forget, these are those rich, upper echelon people back then that were supposed to be teaching God's law. But they weren't. But see, you got some people that orate so eloquently, they can make it sound so good, so believable. Remember a while back, I told you, whatever someone tells you, verify. And that's what they weren't doing. Therefore, all those souls were lost. But getting back to John the Baptist, when he came along, he was coming along with a new way of preaching, a new style of preaching, bold style of preaching. And it caught people's attention. Jesus Christ himself, when he came along and fulfilled the Old Testament, okay? He didn't say, he said, I didn't come along to destroy the law. I came along to fulfill a new way of teaching. Oh, he taught in synagogues and churches and things back then, but mostly he was out traveling from place to place and preaching and reaffirming God's word, clearing up God's word. Oh boy, the vipers, oh, the haters, they couldn't stand it. And eventually, which it was already ordained that he had to die on the cross in order that we, through him, could be saved. But look what he went through. Look what he did. And now let's look forward and look what we're doing. You know, it is bad. It really is. When a person speaks the truth, then they get shunned. They get persecuted. And you know, the sad thing about that is a lot of people will give up. This isn't worth it. Well, evidently, your faith wasn't where it's supposed to be in the beginning. Now, you may gather, I'm a little different. In my sermon yesterday, I told you that I'm a sheep in wolf's clothing. I've got this outer armor here. I am not afraid to tell you when you're wrong. I am not afraid to correct you. I am not afraid to preach the truth. I'm not. Never have been. So I'm not about to start now. You see, I know if you listened yesterday, when God took me up there and showed me and gave me my instructions and gave me something special in order to spread his word. You see, I know that I'm going to be anointed. I know that he continues to anoint me. I know that he is going to grant my wishes. Ask. I've asked. I have prayed. And I will continue forward. Remember, I don't need to vow. I don't need to promise. It's either yay, yay, or nay, nay. It's yay, yay here. So again, if you don't want to hear the truth, you may want to stay away from me. Because I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to mince words. I'm not going to bite my tongue. Again, it's not when let me back up. When I say me, this is God speaking through me, using me as his instrument. So when you get like you want to be a hater or you want to be jealous, you're being jealous of God because he's speaking to me. I'm not going to tell you one thing wrong because I'm going to research it. I'm going to put it together before I come to you. Everybody has their way of teaching and preaching, how to tell a fellow pastor today. As long as we are on that same path, as long as we believe in that one true God, that one true jealous God. That's right. As long as we believe. Brother, hallelujah, I am happy for you. I'm not going to interfere with the way you worship. You don't interfere with the way I worship. Let's get together. A house divided will fall. There's too much division these days. One pastor won't talk to another. One pastor won't fellowship with another. One pastor is envious of another. My God. Satan's busy. He's very busy. And we forget. Be ye as wise as a serpent. See, when Satan get in there and get those emotions flowing, you lose focus. You get tunnel vision. You can't see off to the right. You can't see off to the left. All you're seeing is straight ahead. And there are all kinds of daggers and things coming at you from the right and the left. But you can't see them because you got tunnel vision. Because Satan got a hold to you. Well, I can tell you before I close here, like my mother before me, God blessed me with that undying spirit. Don't give up. I don't give up. Easy. If you think you're going to beat me down and I stay down, you can forget it. Because I got God on my side. And God always gives me my medicine. And I'm going to keep coming at you. 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 It reminds me of a story that I heard one day. And it intrigued me so. And I never forgot it. I heard a story about this man that God always chased him and always whipped him. And he tried to hide over here. He couldn't hide. When he went over there, God was over there. When he tried to go over here and hide, God was over there. When he tried to shut a door, close the door and hide, God was in there with him. When he went to sleep at night, God was in his dreams until one day he had no choice but to bow down. Lord, why do you chase me so? And the Lord revealed it to that man. And I am proud today. I will say that man's name. My pastor. The Honorable Reverend Dr. Nathaniel Hall Sr. Man I have admired my entire life. From the first day I saw him, when I heard his preaching, it did something to me. And everywhere I went, I've always remembered him. And I've always spread his name. Because he, in my opinion, is a true soldier of God. Been on that battlefield a long time. 40-some plus years right there, First Missionary Baptist Church in West Helena, Arkansas. Flowers to you today, sir. I've been wanting to do that a long time. I'm going to close on that note. And I want you to remember what I talked to you about today, especially us pastors. This should be uplifting to us. All right? It gets weary for us too. We get tired. We get beat down. We get hurt. But see, we know. Because true soldiers, some old soldiers, some young soldiers. We know, again, I always said, we know where to get our medicine. And we get that medicine and we keep marching forward, always forward. In closing, we're getting better all the time. We're getting better all the time. We aren't what we ought to be, but we're better than we used to be. You know why? Because we have a made up mind. Thank you, and God bless you.